Welcome to Backstage with Richard Ridge. Malloy University presents Seth Rudetsky and his Broadway friends on Tuesday, November 25th at 7 p.m. at Carnegie Hall. It will be an intimate evening featuring Broadway stars singing the songs that shaped their careers, from early roles in junior high school, community theater, to the performances that brought them to Broadway. And one of them is my guest. Please welcome Taylor Louderman. How are you? It's so good to see you.
Oh, it's so good to see you. I'm really well. I'm over here in Missouri raising some kiddos, but like I said, it's so good to see your face.
Well, listen, um, you're about to be a part of Seth Rudetsky and his Broadway friends at Carnegie Hall. How excited are you?
I'm so excited that I've never performed at Carnegie Hall. So when Seth reached out, I was like, okay, well, first of all, it would be fun to be with him. And I didn't know who I would be involved at, which has been a really fun surprise. And then he mentioned Carnegie Hall, and I was like, wow, that sounds, yeah, just so incredible. I'm so excited.
Now, I know you've seen many people perform there. I mean, everyone I've spoken to said there's nothing like walking into the building like the day of the show and standing on that iconic stage where everyone from like Judy Garland, I mean, Frank Sinatra, Steve and Edie, I mean, Liza. I mean, I'm just mentioning the people that, I've seen or would love to see. Isn't
Yeah.
that cool?
Are you kidding me? It kind of takes my breath away. And I've had a lot of performance anxiety lately, so I'm a little bit scared to make it feel that big, you know. Plus, it's been a minute since I've really performed. I did a solo concert here in St. Louis, but that's nothing like Carnegie Hall. So, yeah, I'm really thrilled. I can't hardly believe it.
Don't have any anxiety. Everybody who plays there say it's like their living room. Seriously, you were with all your Broadway friends. You're going to be with Seth. It's going to be amazing. I guarantee you, the audience that night is going to be like the greatest Broadway fans of all time. So just have the best time up there.
Yeah, I hear the acoustics are incredible. And, one of the things I miss the most about just being in the theater scene, I really took it for granted when I was there. I really miss it. So I'm excited just to be back in that environment. Even being here with you right now makes me feel a little tingly inside.
Well, listen, I was going to ask you, how has being a mom changed the way you look at life and your career? Love to ask parents, moms, and dads this question because they all say it shifts and it changes everything.
Yeah, it really does. I wish I had a better finger on articulating it, but it's quite transformative. I think for me, it's softened me in a way, made me a lot more vulnerable, which might be part of that anxiety I was explaining, but also more open. So I don't know. I'm excited to get back into performing, maybe with that openness. I think you have a lot more life experience to bring to storytelling. So we'll see. I guess I'm going to find out.
No, because everyone's told me sort of the same thing. It having kids made them feel more childlike, and it doesn't put as much stress on their career. Because like I come home and I have my family, so if things work out and I get a role, it's wonderful. If I don't, I have these beautiful faces to look into, and I have my life.
That's exactly right. I think so much of this career asks us to be all in. It's really kind of all consuming, but when you do have a family, that's impossible. So I kind of love that. I love that about taking a little bit of the pressure off.
Well, the evening's going to consist of songs that maybe when you started out as community theater in junior high school. So, I mean, you're one of the first things you did. You got the lead role in Annie when you were 10 years old.
Yeah, I know. Well, I lived out in the middle of nowhere and there weren't a lot of theaters. So, yeah, I did a show in Rolla, Missouri. There's a little professional theater there. And my dad found out about it at work and he said, my daughter has that movie memorized. So I guess we should take her. And they did. And I remember the producer and the director sitting down with my mom, I think just to be like, okay, is she sane too? Because she's going to be, responsible for getting this kid to rehearsal. And yeah, I got it. I loved it. And I think that's when my parents were like, oh, we're going to have to drive her an hour into St. Louis to start doing more theater.
Is that where the bug started for you? Like when you were working on Annie and living in the light?
I guess so. Yeah, I really loved it, and people really loved me doing it too. As a little kid, well, even as an adult, we want to, I don't know, step into where we feel the love, and I think I felt it, and I felt that sense of community and that teamwork in doing Annie. So I was just, yeah, all in.
So after that, did you do like community theater or when you went to school? Like where did it go from there?
Yeah, after that, I started doing community theater in St. Louis. And oddly enough, St. Louis has a lot of Catholic all boys and all girls schools. So the all boys schools needed girls. So they would allow anyone to come audition. So I did a lot of that. And then as a teenager, I did Muni Teens. So the Muni is it's the world's largest outdoor theater, and here in St. Louis. So I was a Muni Teen, and I got to watch these Broadway stars in rehearsal. I mean, I was only on stage for probably 15 seconds, but what was most valuable, I would say, is just observing these performers, and really, I think, helped me dream big and see myself maybe doing it too, and building connections and asking where'd you go to school and all that. So, yeah, from there, I said, all right, well, I'll audition for some of the top programs and see if I get in. If I don't get into some of the, like, I think I auditioned for 6 schools. If I don't get in, maybe I don't want to put all my eggs in this basket, because as we know, it's a really tough industry to make a living doing. But I did. I got into the University of Michigan, and from there I did Bring It On.
Okay, well, let's talk about this because did you leave college to star as Margot in Legally Blonde at the Muni?
Oh, well, actually, that was during the summer. So it was the end of my sophomore year. I was doing Margot and Legally Blonde. That's right. And during rehearsals, they called me out. So Mike Isaacson, who was our producer for Bring It On, was in his sort of transition year taking over at the Muni. So they called me out of rehearsals. I went to Mike's office and he said, I have a phone call for you. And he's there with Kristen Kasky. And they were like, all right, you got the part. You're going to be leading Bring It On the musical on tour, which then went to Broadway. And so that moment for me was so I have chills right now. It was just, it changed my life. I think that's every kid's dream when you go off to college, is to like be plucked out and do the thing. So yeah, it was incredible. Now, fast forward to the show closing, and I'm like, wait, what? What now? I had to like build that fuller life for sure, and start I don't know, valuing just the work and not necessarily the achievement. So I've been doing more of that.
Yeah. Well, listen, that was your Broadway debut in Britain. How magical was that? Because Broadway debuts happen once. What do you remember about that night?
I don't remember much. It was so overwhelming. You know what I remember more actually is the final dress rehearsal. You know how in the Broadway community, those are basically you have a cheerleading squad in the audience because it's your friends and family. And the show started with just like a pin drop light on me. There's even like this da 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 countdown. Gosh, when I hear it, when Seth Rudetsky plays that song, I get so much anxiety. But I just remember when that light hit, the audience cheered for what felt like an hour. And I was like, whoa, I think I've said this before. I'm like, this must be what Beyonce feels like. It just felt so, so, so incredible. There's a song I sing in the show called One Perfect Moment, and that's what it felt like.
That's incredible. I mean, to go from the Muni to Broadway, I mean, talk about a Beyonce moment. The Muni holds like thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah, that's true. 11,000 to be exact.
Yeah. Wow. That must have been incredible, seriously, to have like turned that first day on stage in that show and been like, whoa, this is like a Broadway rock concert.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It was overwhelming to say the least, in the best way.
Yep. Well, you were known to legions of fans from starring as Regina George in the musical Mean Girls. I mean, you must have so many great memories from that show. Would you share one here at Broadway World?
Oh gosh. I have a lot of good memories. I think a couple that stand out to me. One was so iconic where Erica, who played Katie, the main character, had a big reveal costume, a rip away costume is what we call it, where basically she underdressed with the next scene's costume. Gray Henson, who played Damien, was supposed to rip it away. And when he did, he ripped off her shirt, her wig, the whole thing. And we tried to keep going. I think actually that night that was an ASM's first time calling the show, which for those of you who don't know, it's the assistant stage manager, saying go, like basically calling all the shots. And I remember looking over and she's just like frozen, we had to bring the curtain down and fix her all up. And when we brought the curtain back up, the audience was just like, they loved it. They love when those things happen. And the other one, if you want to hear it too, is with Jen Samard. She was playing my mom, and it's a scene we just loved playing. I mean, she's so funny, as we've all been witness to. We were doing this scene where I'm on the treadmill in the fat suit and I'm like just yelling at my mom. I don't know what we did, but we just played. And I think one night it just got out of hand and she made me giggle. I'm supposed to be mad running on the treadmill. She made me giggle, and then I made her giggle, and then the audience giggled, and then we just stood there laughing with the audience for what felt like forever. And I'll just never forget that because it really was like, here we all are in this space, audience and performers, just sharing this moment together that we created. It just felt, yeah, just joy, pure joy. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you were all so close. I remember sitting with all of you. I got all you ladies together at the green room. We sat on that couch over there, but
Yes.
you were all so close. I mean,
Yeah.
I know when you work on shows, it happens, but there was something about that group, right? At Mean Girls.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of history together, right? So Ashley and Erica and I were all in school together. Erica was a year younger than Ashley and I. And then I had done Bring It On with Kate. So she felt like a sister too. So we just were. But you're right, that theater just does that naturally, right? I mean, I remember in high school, like the show was over and we're all crying at the end because you just bond, and I think it's because theater calls on us to be vulnerable and that's how we connect.
How life changing. People came to see you in Mean Girls and all of you, and you met them all at the stage door and everything else. And everybody remembers, seeing a life changing performance or seeing themselves up there, or how life changing live theater is. What was it like for you meeting all the fans and like meeting the young girls who were like, wow, she did this. Maybe I can do this.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think in the moment I didn't appreciate it as much as I wish I would have because I was playing the villain. So much of I got really wrapped up in like, no, you shouldn't like my character. You shouldn't like me. I'm the bad guy. And yeah, I wish I just would have embraced it a little bit more of like, no, she has great qualities too, and bringing this character to life is still just as meaningful, in terms of the story. But we did get a lot of fan art and letters, just about how inspiring it is to kids, and you really take it for granted when you're doing it every day. I mean, but it's so, so special because I used to be one of those kids, so it's important to remember. Absolutely.
No, I remember watching you all at the stage door. You were all so generous to people. And the villain is always a fun person to play, or a villainessy kind of one. It's always like, then they meet you and they're like, oh my God, she's so nice. Well, that's why. She's a great actress. That's why.
Thanks. I tried.
So let's talk about working with Seth. I mean, I talk to everybody. I mean, what is it like? Because you've done concerts with him before. Like,
No, I have never.
oh, you've never done anything with him.
No, he's asked me to, go on a show or whatever, but no, I just never have. I think because I get really scared doing concerts. They just feel like, oh, I can't hide behind a character as much. But go ahead.
No, you wait. I mean, I'm sure you've asked your friends. Everybody who's worked with Seth said they've had the best time in their life because he knows more about your career than you know.
Yeah, of course he does, right? I'm excited because growing up, we listened to him on SiriusXM, and I have family and friends who would like text me every time one of my songs or if he ever talked about me on the show. So it's just been so kind of woven into the fabric of my career, and he's just such a personality. Like I'm a little bit like, what's he gonna throw at me next? Which I think keeps it really fun and interesting for the audience too, So I can't wait. I think it'll just be playful and wonderful.
Well, looking back at your career, I'm sure, like I said, this is an evening of songs that, started out with your career through high school, through college, through Broadway. What are some of the things you're thinking about doing on the 25th?
Yeah. Well, he kind of said like, songs and songs you've done in high school. And of course, thinking back to the shows I've done, like Sandy in Grease or like Wendy and Peter Pan, I don't know, or like High School Musical, I'm like, I don't know if those feel Carnegie Hall worthy. So we've been kind of going back and forth. One of the songs I am excited about is, I think I can reveal this. It's a duet with Nikki from Chess. And at first I was like, oh, it's on Broadway right now. I don't know. But I think that actually could be really fun. And I just did Chess at the Muni with Jessica Vosk. And I had the best time. That music is so delicious. So we're gonna do that duet together, and then I might do Someone Gets Hurt just for old time's sake.
Okay, I just got goosebumps from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet of all the stuff you just mentioned. Like I said, this is going to be a playground. The audience is going to be so incredible that night. These are fans of all of you coming just to watch you all make magic. So all I want you to do is have the best time on the 25th.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
So finally, what are you looking forward to the most? I know it's like a big deal. It's Carnegie Hall and everything else, but just there's so many people you know in this show.
I think that's the thing, right? I think that's what I'm looking forward to, is just like being together. I haven't really, I haven't performed with Erica since. So like that will be so special, just being with her again. And I look up to so many of these performers too. Like I'm singing Waitress in my car all the time now because it's about so much motherhood in it. So I'm hearing a lot of Jesse Mueller. Like I'm very, very, very excited just to be in the room with them. And like the backstage moments, I think will be so wonderful. And to just feel like myself again. So much of motherhood is, it, it's felt like I don't know, just sort of all consuming. And I'm excited to be back out there as this new version of myself and bringing my kiddos to the city and my family. They're all coming. So yeah, I think it'll feel kind of like I'm stepping into this new chapter as both my old self and my new self. So
It's a great chapter to be starting.
thank you.
So have you picked your outfit? Do you have a gown?
No, I need help. What do you do? Help.
Just put it out there to the people here at Broadway World. They'll be like, oh my God. But I mean, it just, I'm sure, do you have stuff at home? Are you going to go rent the runway? You're going to look for
Yeah,
this?
I'll probably rent something because I don't want to spend a fortune, and I don't have a ton of time to go try stuff on, so I need to get with it. I'm so glad you mentioned this.
Well, I'm sure you will have the most incredible outfit. Everyone does the same thing. They rent it from somewhere. Just
Yeah,
get a few dresses sent to you or whatever, and just pick them out. Just say, show them to your family. Say, what should I wear? Do a
yeah.
dry run at home. But seriously, this has been the best catching up with you. I cannot tell you. You are so beloved by me, by Broadway World, by this community. It's going to be so great to have you back. And I just want you to have the very best time on November 25th. And when you go out there that night and you take your bow, just make it from the heart. Take it all in that night. Your family will be there. You'll be back in New York again, and just have the best time.
Thanks, Richie. That's so sweet. That's what I'm going to focus on, having fun.
Good. So once again, Malloy University presents Seth Rudetsky and his Broadway friends on Tuesday, November 25th at 7 p.m. at Carnegie Hall. It's a beautiful, intimate evening featuring Broadway stars singing the songs they started out in community theater and junior high school and what made them big Broadway stars. Tickets are available at carnegiehall.org, and we will see you there. Taylor, I adore you, my friend.
I adore you right back.
Take care, everybody, and we'll see you at the theater.